Okay, this is a presentation on energy efficiency and energy audit by Steve Mackay, and I'm just going to give a quick overview of the slides. There's a comprehensive set of slides that will be provided. I'll just give a quick overview of what's contained in those slides just over the next few minutes. So the objectives are, first of all, to develop obviously how to develop the organizational structure, to obviously get an organization-wide energy efficiency program underway. So you need support right from the top all the way through to the bottom. How to prepare an activity plan, and then look at the different areas of investigation, select databases, look at tracking, monitoring, analyzing, and presenting the data so you can actually get something useful out of it. It's pointless gathering lots of data without actually being able to do something with it. And then a quick discussion about what the basic principles of an energy audit are, and then a little bit of a discussion about financial methods for investment assessment, NPV, internal rate of return, those sort of things. So just a quick chat about those. So as I said, this is all in the slides just to give you a quick run through. Obviously, energy management is obviously the judicious and effective use of energy to maximize profits and enhance competitive positions. And if you do it right, obviously you're going to protect the environment with a lower level of emissions. The goal of any energy efficiency program is to minimize energy costs, try and maintain your production levels and quality. Obviously, if you minimize your energy costs to such an extent that you impact on your production levels and quality, you're not going to have a very happy management or shareholders in the company. And the other very important issue, perhaps even more important, is looking at the environment, ensuring that you have a favorable impact on the environment. Things that you need to consider when you're implementing energy management is obviously getting management support. If you don't have management support, you're probably wasting your time. And then obviously you need a skilled energy efficiency team. I won't worry about the energy emission statement. Obviously, as an idea of the sort of typical plant, factory, company, all the different guys involved with energy management, from your company directors all the way through to your coordinator plant services and safety guys. So really what you want to really talk about is data collection, data monitoring, and calibration of the data. Look at performance assessment indices. This sort of gives you a quick summary of what's happening with energy efficiency, and then enables you to compare it with previous data. And then energy audit, just look at briefly what's required for an energy audit. There's basically 3 levels of energy audit, so we'll just have a quick look at the different levels. So first thing is develop an action plan, look at the goals, identify resources. Obviously money is always an issue, but manpower can be another problem, and another resource which probably isn't noted here, or it's implied, is obviously time. That's obviously a very limited resource. Implement your action plan, define your roles, get external agencies involved, train up your members to know what to do, look at monitoring systems, and then obviously look at reviews and reevaluation so you can feedback any problems or any things to actually improve things. So develop an action plan is the next discussion. Very important. What you can do, we've had a discussion about that, tracking and controlling systems. Look at the relevant and critical variables. Very difficult, but you need to get historical data for the past 24 months. And you should try and get your intervals for measurements as small as practically possible. Obviously, don't go to the nth degree, because if you get a lot of repetitive data, it may not be as useful. So you need to be careful about your sampling rates. Tracking and controlling systems, record electricity usage during peak and off-peak hours separately. Look at independent islands of accountability in the plant. Look at correlation factors. These show you the degree of similarity between the different parameters. So you may find that there's certain parameters that you're measuring which are highly correlated, and others there's no relationship at all. And then look at other facilities, competitors, or global standards. It's always good to benchmark, very important. And then look at the areas where improvements can be made, list them, what can be done, and then obviously have some sort of process to actually review your tracking and controlling system so you can actually improve on it. Here's a sort of typical example of a diagram. Kilowatt hours, electricity, diesel in kilograms, total, etc. bills. So that's sort of typical picture there. Kilocalories per ton. Most of the time today we'd use kilojoules. Kilocalories probably more American or dietitian, so we're not really going to worry so much about that. There's a typical chart of energy versus production, energy consumption profiles. Now, as far as energy audits are concerned, and the principles here, let's have a quick discussion about that. Really, what you want to do is look at the major types of energies used, energy consuming units, and their wastage. So there's really two types of audits, sort of overview, which is level 1, preparatory, and then a very detailed comprehensive level 3 one. So this is all discussed in the following slides. Basic financials are obviously important to look at, sort of trying to give some substance to your analysis. And there's really 3 methods here of assessing your return on your energy audit and your results of saving energy. Payback period, return on investment, or net present value. So just briefly discuss that, the formulas and the structure here. Payback period depends on the particular customer and the applications to which one you would use. Payback period. Investment divided by annual savings minus annual recurring costs. So that gives you a sort of typical payback period for very small one-time projects. Return on investment is obviously very popular. Again, for one-time investment only. Net yearly savings divided by total investment. So if you have savings of $100 and you have a total investment of $1,000, you can then work out your return on investment. And then finally, net present value. Present value is probably you typically use it for, looks at time value of money. So in other words, $1 today is worth 90 cents tomorrow. So basically, due to inflation, your money gets worth less and less. In other words, you should consider the fact that inflation tends to whittle away your money. So that is what net present value does. It tries to actually look at the different years, the cash flows, and tries to give you a sort of present value of what your money is worth today. So just a quick summary of the whole presentation is here: energy management, tracking controlling systems, energy audit, and then the financial tools. So quite important to look at those. So that's the end of the presentation, and if any questions, you're welcome to send us a note and we'll definitely respond. Positive or negative note, anything's welcome. Thanks very much for listening in to this little presentation.